talking a lot about marketing in general, not guerrilla marketing, although that's been part of the mix of our conversation. So to bring that in here a little bit more potently, maybe we'll start with Sam on the end instead of always picking on the guy closest to me. How would you describe guerrilla marketing? What is guerrilla marketing? How would it be different than viral marketing, buzz marketing, any of those other kinds of words that we hear going around?
I think of guerrilla marketing two ways. I think of it in terms of being unconventional, and I think of it in terms of being cost-effective. It may not always be nothing. You always like free marketing. It may not always be super cheap, but it is. You can spend money in guerrilla marketing and be cost-effective more so than what your competitors are doing with their traditional marketing. To me, guerrilla marketing has to have that. Guerrilla marketing to me is most synonymous with word-of-mouth marketing. Now, buzz and viral, I think, are cousins to that, but buzz and viral, in my mind, often are tied to marketing campaigns that are almost marketing to marketing. You see certain campaigns. This is why I say start with the end in mind, because you can come up with stuff that sounds really cool and it's making fun of yourself in terms of marketing, or it's just very entertaining. And then at the end of the day, the message they got might have been entertaining, but they didn't even know what you were talking about. It didn't move them down the line. So a lot of times buzz and viral marketing, I think, have a little worse name because of that. Guerrilla marketing is being unconventional with knowing what those objections are, knowing what the obstacles are to move things forward. And then, social network is a whole other category. It's applying online to this, but it's more than that. It is connecting customers. We're in this business of social, what we call social commerce, and it's the whole idea of connecting customers in ways that drive measurable results. So we think this is the most sustainable form of marketing because when people talk on your own website and have user-generated content, you just sit back and let them talk, which is what every other customer wants to see. They don't want to hear from the marketer. We don't believe advertising and marketing anymore. This is why guerrilla marketing is more effective than traditional marketing, because it stands out. But when you have customers talking, when you have word of mouth or social networking going on about your products, that is the most potent marketing you can possibly have. So I would start with thinking about C2C marketing, customer-to-customer marketing. How do you facilitate that? How do you leverage that? How do you amplify that? And then you plow that through other marketing methods, and it's much more salient than anything you could say.
Yeah, and so I can give you a couple examples that I think also draw out the differences. So guerrilla marketing, and sorry, we don't have, we paintballed some buildings or something like this in New York. Ours is, we need to sign up technology advertisers. So we've got sales guys who are calling up those, kind of traditional B2B sales, always looking to add more to our network. And so we found some various technology shows where a bunch of those, marketing and salespeople like you all would be attending. So then we put them on a calendar and we tried an experiment at Vaughn. So a VoIP show up in San Jose, sent our sales guy there, hopped on the Nerdbird, and got, I think the show pass, I think it was free, or it's $100 or something like that. And we sat there for a week, or weeks, should we sponsor anything? Do we get booth? Do we do anything? All this stuff costs thousands and thousands of dollars. So he just, got the airfare and a $100 pass or $0 pass and just walked up and down the aisles talking to advertisers, saying, I bet you're trying to get small and medium businesses, blah, blah, blah. 5 minutes later, they're either ready to sign up or they're saying, here's the VP of marketing, tell them I sent you. And so, one day of his time, he got, 6, 7 accounts, perfect advertisers for our audience on board. And so we'll be doing, then once we found that works, then it's like, okay, great, book a ticket for Interop. And so, it's the cheapest B2B marketing to get to marketing professionals. And you know that, every one of their booths costs, they're spending at least $5,000 to $15,000 to be there, and then we're coming along with the different propositions. So I think that's an example of a guerrilla, thought process where we're just banging our heads on the wall trying to figure out how to market. And I was like, that's stupid, let's try this. And in the early days at Spiceworks, I did that all the time. I just, look at trade shows and go, oh wow, the VP of HP is going to be at that conference. Hop on a plane, go catch them after they give their speech. So little things like that, as opposed to other tactics. Sam talked about guerrilla and word of mouth. So something we do with our users is, they love the value they're getting from Spiceworks. We give them free support, great. So there's a good customer advocacy element there already, but then to supercharge that, we'll just ask them, hey, can you go tell your friends? And then we give them a website called Spiceworks. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'd probably rate it about a 3 or a 4, so we're going to do a bunch of things to revamp it. But it's then to give all of those people who are going to be active online, give them links, the tools, the badges, all sorts of stuff that they can then use to market you online. And so we've had some good success from that. We have literally thousands of websites that send traffic to us because they say, hey, I think you should try it out, but we think we can accelerate that a lot further. So it's kind of that guerrilla, help spread the revolution, here's some tools. But I can tell you, if they didn't love our product to begin with, that's going nowhere. So you got to make sure that's in place, otherwise you won't have too much luck. And then just on the viral thing too, is it's easy to talk about viral marketing, but then there's also, of course, viral product features. That's a really tough one to crack, and to be honest, you just have to keep hammering away at that. I think that's kind of a whole separate.
I think of guerrilla marketing, I think two things. One, very similar to how Sarah said, you're reaching your audience, reaching your target audience through non-traditional means. And you could use traditional means to get there, like the example I used of the billboard. That was a very traditional means, but a non-traditional message. They weren't saying, go see this movie Universal Studios is coming out with. So in that way, I see that as guerrilla marketing. I also think of guerrilla marketing, it does have all the components. You can use a lot of the viral social media, blogging, some of these new technologies that are coming out, but you could also use the traditional means of getting there through a newspaper, or I haven't seen newspaper ads that say I hate Sarah Marshall, but I'm sure they're out there. But so, and the other piece I think of guerrilla marketing is where the term originally came from is when you're thinking about competitive, or it is a warlike tactic, and whether you're taking on your competitor head toe to toe, or you're distracting your competitor, you're not going at them in the forefront and calling them out and saying, let's do a debate, but you're distracting them. You're distracting them by having them have to answer to something about a product that might be less than effective, or that might have a glitch, or a product that some users have some issues with. You're distracting them with other things that keep them from focusing on that main front. So I think those are the two ways that I think about guerrilla marketing. It is the competitive piece, as well as the going at reaching your audience through a non-traditional method.
Viral buzz, guerrilla, experiential, hospitality. These are all closely related cousins. They're all in the same subphylum of marketing communications that really know no boundaries. And when you choose a particular tactic, understand that all of these things can happen off of that tactic. That's the thing, is I don't think anybody can afford to have blinders on right now. And PR and your web team and your creative messaging team and your designer, all these people need to be in the room at the same time whenever you start a plot. Honestly, it's respecting that the investment that you're going to make in whatever it is, it's marketing about the marketing. It's one person's experience in the room and making sure that they tell all their friends. The key 2 or 3 targets that you had in the first place, they have the time of their life, or they laugh so much, whatever it is, but understanding that it's don't go into it thinking that it is just this one thing that you're going to make happen, and don't treat it as linear media anymore. I think that's probably the biggest. That was my answer. I should have come out with it in the first sentence. Linear media is not dead yet, but linear, static, impressions-based approach to media. Come up with a quirky message and put it in all the right places. Somebody will see it. You just can't bet the farm on that anymore.